Are you missing six-man co-host Mike Myers? Well, you don't have to. Go to geekbrunchpodcast.com and explore all of Mike's podcast universe, including my favorite, Mike M's Weekly Reads, to stay up to date with Mike's personal reading list. You got Geek Brunch, a bi-weekly celebration of geek culture with Mike and Bill Bomer, where they dish about comics, movies, TVs, and even food sometimes. You got DC Noise, focusing on Mike's favorite publisher, DC. Collector's Corner, DC Everything Else, another favorite of mine, and Geek Brunch Retro. So feel free to go find Mike at geekbrunchpodcast.com. It's time once again for our winter giveaway. This giveaway is very simple to enter. Be a patron. So the easiest way to enter is go to patreon.com/comicsfunprofit. Become a patron at any level at our Patreon site. And you can do it that way. You can also enter by going to Threadless and buying some merch and tagging us in a photo of you in said merch. So if you like one of our t-shirts or hats or whatever, and you go to comicsfunprofit.threadless.com and find all our merch and like some of it, buy it, wear it. You can either tag us in social with you wearing it, or send us a photo of you wearing it, and you're entered. So those are the two ways: be a patron and buy merch, and then you get entered in our winter giveaway, which is fun swag giveaways of photos and stickers and signed comics, just like our fall giveaway was. And we had 5 lucky winners win stuff in our fall giveaway. So we're hoping to have as many entrants this time that we can give away that many again. So be a patron, buy merch, enter the winter giveaway.
Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is Kyle and Truth, your sneak peek at next week, episode number 883 for comics releases coming out February the 13th and Valentine's Day, February the 14th. So don't forget your ladies when you head off to the comic shop to get your books, or grab them a pretty fun book while you're there.
Well, your partners.
This is true. My apologies.
Yeah.
My apologies.
We have lots of lady listeners too. You never know.
Absolutely. But before Drew and I get into what's coming up near your local comic book shops this coming Wednesday and Thursday, Drew, it's good to hear from you. What do we got from the world of comics?
Well, we got our good buddy Jason, who sent this in last week, and I missed the email, so I'm gonna catch it this week. He's asking, what spec trends from 2023 did you guys notice from the comic book invest and cover price? So over the course of the year, I guess.
Sold in shops. These stupid eBay only auctions for the Taylor Swifts and the dumb stuff that they're avoiding shops with, again, literally selling multiple times on the market just through eBay. Boy, I hated those trends.
Yeah, and I think I hated him first when the artist would do it on his own little website.
Yeah, I mean, it started out, hey, certain covers are only available through certain retailers. They have retailer exclusive. And you're like, all right, cool, good for those retailers.
Yeah. I mean, and
then it became, hey,
you were okay with GameStop, specific. Right?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yeah. And now it's just like, hey, eBay, you know what? eBay has enough of our friggin' money from this. No.
Yeah.
This is stupid. The other is second print ratios. Screw that.
Yeah, second print ratios. Not a fan.
Yeah.
What was the other thing that I hated? Oh, I hate con variants. I hated the con variants.
I think we're both speaking out of jealousy, because when we were pulling, things from C2E2, we were happy as a clam.
Now, yeah, well, I'm not at C2E2 or the other cons right now, and I and it's still a pain in the ass. Like,
yeah.
Especially when there's like a 1 hour window. It's the same time at both ends of the con, and so if you want both things, you can't get them, because you can't go. Even if you could, you can't. You got to be in line. So you're.
You mean they're trying to force multiple people to be able to succeed and not just one person? As a man who works in the bourbon industry, we're doing the same darn thing with you bourbon people.
Yeah.
Where we're releasing things at the same time, so you can't, just line your coffers.
Yeah, that's true. I don't like con exclusive variants.
I'm actually with you on that one, especially since it's just like, all right, you spent the $300 for the ticket. You went there, you waited in the lines.
Yeah.
And then you loaded up on your weird exclusives. And your weird exclusives are just a shiny version of the regular.
You dropped, you had to drop $40 on this exclusive, and it's a spec hit at $45. Mm-hmm. So it's on the list.
Yeah.
Great job. I'm glad you wasted 8 of your hours of your life to stand in line to get that. I don't get it.
So all the spec perfectly fine all day, and all of a sudden, time for podcasting, and I can't freaking breathe. So just FYI, I'm pushing through.
Those are the bad spec trends. The good ones were seeing cover A's coveted again.
Yeah.
The Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees was a revelation and fantastic. The Ultimate Spider-Man #1 was a revelation and fantastic, and that's really what we want. And we'll talk in a little bit about Black Panther being also in that vein, but regular cover A's being sought after and collected because the story's good.
Oh, who'da thunk it?
Wow.
Who'da thunk it?
Wow, we're collecting good stories, and we're out finding these good stories, and that's driving the value up.
Listen up, creator ABC. We're talking to you.
That's the greatest. I mean,
yeah. And then we of course had the Spider Boy, which was the quote unquote secret cover. So we had the secret cover phenomenon as well.
Yeah. Well,
and then we had the secret cover with Transformers, but that was hidden behind eye ratio.
Yeah. So spoiler covers, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler covers and secret covers. So those are positive or negative spec?
I was throwing that in as a midline and having you bump it one way or the other.
It is a trend for sure. And it was, I mean, I enjoyed the Transformers stuff, seeing like the different characters, but after the fact, and I didn't pay the premium to see them. So I set it out. I don't know.
Thankfully, if you listen to our podcast, we were able to catch those things kind of right when they hit, enough that you didn't have to super chase deep and pay a ton if you caught it the week we did as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So lots of fun trends from 23 that good and bad. So yeah. Did Ultimate Spider-Man surprise you guys as a spec pick? It did for me. I picked this issue up thinking it would be another Spider story. I was surprised it was as good as it was. It was really good.
Well, especially since if we still had access to Comic-Con numbers, I bet you there's a ton of them.
Oh yeah. It sold through the roof. Do we think Ultimate Black Panther came out? Yeah, it was Kyle's spec pick. So
that's right.
For sure.
I put my money where my mouth was on that one.
Yes. And my spec pick for this week will be The Displaced. I'm like, okay, all right. We'll put that down, Jason.
100%.
I'm not sure you're gonna get the cover listed in there and listed in the show notes, but we will write that down.
I've got no problem throwing another. But okay,
we have done it.
I realize I just volunteered you for more work by saying I don't care if we do it.
Yeah, and the fact that he just interviewed Ed Brisson, the Displaced writer, whose interview episode precedes this one that you're listening to. So Displaced got some pub already. You know what I mean?
Are you saying we can be bought? Is that what you're saying, Drew?
I'm saying Jason can be bought.
I'm saying
it sounds like Jason's an easy mark for these guys. They just come sweet talk him for an hour on his show.
A little bit of that Riz, and he's there for you. As the kids say.
What is the Riz? What is
Riz? It's just when you have a way. Yeah.
Charisma.
It's charisma is what it is.
Charisma.
I don't know. I've got 3 Gen Zs in the house. My apologies.
Yeah. You should be picking up on all these.
Oh, no cap.
All right. That will transition us seamlessly over to the previews catalog so we can take a look at.
Don't we normally start with our friends at CBSI?
Do we? Yeah, you're right. We do. Our friends at CBSI. Then Then when we will seamlessly transition.
Let's hit the brakes. Let's backpedal, and then seamlessly transition.
Then seamlessly transition. Yeah, okay, you're right. CBSI.
I'm heading over to my good friends at comicbookinvest.com. I'm clicking their top 10, finding their February 9th top 10. And boy, Drew, is it a happy sight to see. Yeah. Ranked number 1, Ultimate Black Panther. Number 1. They are tossing out the cover A as their number 1 book. Over 200 sales since Wednesday alone on the secondary market, as the price seems to have settled to about $25 to $30 after some rises and falls in this given week. Add another 100 or more sales if we look at the full week, including pre-sales, when it dipped to around $15 just before release and spiked to the high of $40. Lots of news and expectations on this book, as it was trading at $30 to $40 all last week ahead of release, as most expected the next Ultimate Spider-Man. Not sure this heat will hold the same, as there are 2 different patterns, and this feels more spectacular driven rather than more speculator driven. Thank you, can't read. Than more organic, as Ultimate Spider-Man did a few weeks ago.
Yeah, nice.
And then, of course, yeah, exactly. As number 2 is, of course, my pick, the Ultimate Black Panther number 1, my boy Boss Logic on the cover for this. All covers on this new issue are doing well, but this gorgeous Boss Logic cover is the clear runner up with cover A, with 65 and more sales, and a price around to $25, with some sales at $30. Cover C and D are trailing and only getting 15 to 20. And the incentives are a whole other story.
So basically, they're both selling for around the same price. They just sold way more number 1s. People were grabbing way more number 1s than they were the B. But it's still, the price is around the same.
100%.
Yeah. Still a quality spec pick, Kyle.
Yep. Yeah, I'm taking it. At rank 3 with Avengers Twilight number 1, there were 75 or more sales on again this week. Prices are still at least $15 to $20 for a copy, and highs still reached $30, along with the CGC 9.8 hitting $130. Also moving in sets with issue 2 that just hit, as noted in the next. Well, they're kind of telling us what the next one is on this one, which is getting positive response and is translating into more increased sales.
Yeah. Nice.
So at rank 4, of course, we have Avengers Twilight number 2. 50 sales on the second issue of the series. This already has a second print announced and has quickly risen to $15 to $20, just like issue 1. Issue 1 is also still selling well and moving in lots, with 1 and 2 going for a between $30 and $40 ask. Is this all for James Starks, or is it more than that? Recent trend of that story seems to be moving more and more cover A comics recently. Big fan. You and I talked quite a bit about Dr. A for 40 as it closed out that second series at rank 5. We have Dr. A for 40, the 1 in 25 cover. Only about half a dozen sales this week, but the price is averaged a solid $100, even hitting a high of 154 on the last sale of the auction. Only 3 listed, and apart from the 1 at auction, the other 2 are seeking $175 to $200 on this 1 in 25 incentive. That's a bit of a jump this week, so it still ends up with a good jump on it.
We need to put this in our little Rolodex, on our memory banks, for when there's a final issue and it's a ratio.
Yeah.
It's a kind of like check.
Yep, exactly.
Elevate that bad.
2 birds with 1 stone, if you will.
Yeah.
At rank 6, we have Ultimate Universe number 1. About 30 sales this past week, as all things Ultimate seem to be on the rise. This has crept up to a solid $15 to $20 this week, once again on the cover A, while other variants seem to still be a bit cheaper and under $10 on the other Thor covers.
Now, this was already out before Ultimate Spider-Man, or this is new? I don't know that answer.
I think this was out before. I can't remember the time frame on things.
Yeah. So it didn't hit. And
yeah.
It wasn't as well written.
but it's being risen by the rising tide of Spider-Man.
Makes sense.
At rank 7, we have Afterburn #1. This is an old Red 5 comic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A surprising 20 sales so far since the announcement that Sam Jackson and Dave Bautista will start an adaptation of this indie comic from 2008. Prices quickly jumped from $4 to $15 to $30 in the last couple days. That's a steep rise for a book that many didn't even know existed 3 days ago.
And I am one of those. I have not read this, nor have I heard of it. So, good job.
Yep. Paul Enns writing and Matt Bush on art for that one. At rank 8, we have Wolverine 42, 1 in 25. Another 30 sales this week on this 1 in 25 incentive variant. Recent sales have seen the prices settle around 80 to 85, which is a decent hold from last week. Despite a little bit lower prices this week, this book remains on the list based not only on that hold, but also a few higher spikes, with more than $100 in sales this week, including a pre-sale 9.8 for $285. At rank 9, we have X-Men 27. Folks are turning back to this book as the obvious reaction to Ultimate Black Panther is to look ahead to Ultimate X-Men. We know Peach plans to feature this new character, May Storm, whose first appearance is in the new Champions variant cover. Back to selling for about 20 to 25, this even had a couple of high sales of more than $40 this week, a solid jump from the 10 to 15 of a week or so ago. Volume isn't that high yet after a dozen or more sales this week, but this may gain in the weeks to come as we near the release of the Ultimate X-Men in March. So this X-Men 27, the Champions cover, May Storm's first appearance.
Okay.
And at rank 10, Ultimate Spider-Man still hanging along cover A. You may be tired of seeing this book, but it's hanging on with a ton of sales even after several weeks. We had some healthy debate on this one on the show. That's our good friends at Comic Book Invest, whether this still deserves to be on the list. Prices have settled down to a consistent $55 to $60, while there were still another 130 or more sales this week for cover A. The other covers aren't faring as well this week as prices seem to be trending down a little bit. Early CGC 9.8 sales have been between 125 and 250 for the
That's nuts. That's freaking nuts.
Yeah.
But why? I mean, how is this not on the list?
Yeah, it's still a big deal. Still a big deal.
Stupid criteria. If 130 sales and $60, 12 times cover doesn't get you on the list,
you better talk about those kind of things.
Your list sucks.
Exactly. I completely agree with you.
I'm done.
All right, some of our notable sales. Showcase Comics #4, an all-time high sale this week in a CG3 3.5 for $24,000. That's up a few thousand for the last sale of $21,000 back in the summer. Classic Silver Age first. This is an actual key comic and a grail for many, many collectors.
Yeah, that'd be nice to have.
Yeah. And Blue Beetle 54. This classic Golden Age was on the SOTI list. Gorgeous Jack Gaiman art on this book and a wonderful headlights cover. A whopping $15,600 for the CGC 7.5 purple label. I believe there was some restoration around the staples on this one. Resto or not, that's still a huge sale.
Yeah, interesting. I'm not familiar with that era of Blue Beetle, but I guess that's Golden Age. So
there we go.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, can we seamlessly transition over to the previews catalog and take a look at
seamlessly? No. Transition? Absolutely.
Well, I guess what's your definition of seamless, I guess? Not this.
All right. Yeah. And we're down into the Boom Studios of it all, aren't we, Drew?
Yeah. The Boom Studios.
All right. And we're going to start with Blowaway, #1, Zach Thompson and Nicola Izzo.
Some cool covers, five covers. It's Criminal meets Snowblind. Read both of those. This is a neo-noir paranoid thriller, which is kind of interesting. And this is something I'm sure I'm going to read. This looks really good and something that works for me. This is part of the Boom Guarantee. Do we know what the Boom Guarantee is? If you don't like it, you can send it back.
I was going to say, I think it's retailers. They're returnable, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we have Uncanny Valley #1 of a 6-issue Tony Fleecs series.
Yeah, so it's the writer of Stray Dogs and the artist of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is a cross between Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Something Epic. So it should be some cool ass covers.
Yeah,
and it's a little new age, all agey. It's got a lot of cartoony stuff in it, but I think it's going to be pretty geared towards an older crowd too.
Yeah, because I mean, Who Framed Roger Rabbit ended up being, I thought, fairly. It had some adult stuff. I mean, it wasn't. It looked all agey, but it was.
Yeah, but the covers are, they really show. It's really cartoony.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, there's an archive edition of Labyrinth from way back. And wasn't this a Marvel comic back then?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's
formatted like it is.
Yeah. So this is, I'm guessing the rights have reverted to something.
Yeah.
And somebody jumped on it. So it's a facsimile of the original John Buscema cover and then a new Miguel Micardo cover. This is just a comic book adaptation of the movie Labyrinth. It was a 3-issue miniseries that there may have been some in some dollar bins not so long ago. So it's a surprise that this is something that they're grabbing, but our Archaea and Boom have grabbed this. Maybe the Jim Henson connection.
Definitely using the David Bowie of it all.
Yeah. And because this was Jim Henson involved in the movie?
I believe so.
Yeah, so there's the connection there, I guess. Very cool. And I don't know that I'll be picking that up, but I'm pretty sure I have at least a couple of those 3 issues in my boxes.
Hardcover for Sons of El Topo. It's the omnibus they're selling there. Something is Killing the Children up to issue 36 now. Still with a dope Jenny Frizen cover there.
So that's Something is Killing the Children has been around for 5 years.
5 years, yeah. Perfect for the 5th anniversary of Something is Killing the Children.
Very cool.
36 issues in 5 years. 7 issues a year.
Yeah, that isn't bad, I guess.
Yeah. Agility Incentives. Good
better
cover.
Than Saga some years.
Amen. Amen. Dope t-shirt they're selling. House of Slaughter 22. Thank goodness for James Tynion IV, or our boys Boom would be in trouble.
Yeah, right.
Grimm 16. Ooh, a nice Annie Wu cover.
And if you like Grimm, you can get book 1 as deluxe edition with a slipcase for $50.
If you want the slipcase, it's $80.
Oh, ouch. That's a $30 slipcase.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are up to 119.
Morty Morphin would be a cool spinoff.
But we have a Bjorn Barons cover on it, so there's a wicked Power Ranger.
So much Rangerverse. Good luck. Enjoy.
Rangers, Necessary Evil Rangers. That's a soft cover. Ranger Academy on its 6th issue.
Man's Best. This is Pornsak Pichot, who did Good Asian, right? Yeah, Good Asian.
Yep.
And So I don't know that I have seen much of him since then, so I might be checking this one out. There's The Displaced that Jason mentioned earlier as his pick, so the third issue of that right here.
Cool Declan Shalvey cover.
Coda False Dawns. What issue is that?
That's a soft cover.
That's Cy Spurrier, too.
Yeah.
The Tom King Animal Pound. I still have that sitting on my nightstand. I haven't not got around to reading. I need to read this. Pine and Mary. Same for Pine and Merrimack. I still haven't read that. And that's my boy, Kyle Stark.
Yeah.
Gotta read that. Lotus Land, I skipped altogether.
It's ending 6 of 6.
Because there's just too much stuff.
R.L. Stein publishing Stuff of Nightmares, soft cover through them. Hunt for the Skinwalker, soft cover.
Did you ever end up watching any of the Goosebumps adaptations on Apple?
No, I did not.
Was it Apple or Disney? No, I can't remember. It was on one of the streamers. And I remembered you being a fan of Goosebumps. Was that right?
Yeah, big reader of the Goosebumps book back in the day. Yep.
And then Hannah to a lesser degree because they were kind of on their way out when she got of age to read them. But the one about the camera, that was the first episode, was the one about the camera that would show how you died.
Yeah.
Can't remember what that was called. Say Cheese and Die, maybe. Does that sound right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was pretty good. I liked good production value. It had Justin Long in it. You know, so he's a good actor.
Can't beat that.
And so yeah, you should seek that out. See if it works for you from the olden days of Goosebumps.
As I've gotten older, I don't like scary stuff.
Well,
less and less.
Yeah, life is scary enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, issue 14 of 15. Of course, this Jason Aaron written Boom Studios series.
Oh, so it is ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you may have mentioned that to me before, that now it has an end number on it.
Dune House of Carino, number 2 of that 8-issue series, as we head towards the sequel to Dune.
Dune people really like Dune, but I don't get it. I don't get it.
You're either Dune or you're not Dune.
Yeah.
The Expanse, Dragon Tooth, penultimate, 11 of 12. Another really good Bjorn Parents cover on that one. I Heart Skull Crushers, 2 of 5.
Orcs with the 4th issue. And a volume of Garfield for the kids.
Wow. Give me newspaper format or give me nothing.
Yeah. And then they just let's give you some all our trades. A lot of trades.
While you're here.
Solicited. Ooh, should we look at Dynamite or should we even bother, Kyle?
It's not for you and I. There's probably not a point of it.
Yeah, I think that's enough then.
There we go.
Well, let's head on over seamlessly. Let's seamlessly head on over to Cover Price and take a look and see what they
Much
got.
More seamless. There we go. At rank 1, we're talking about Ultimate Spider-Man, regular cover A. Again, there is no debate when it comes to Cover Price. They are still talking about this book, and it is still number 1.
Yes. No debate at all.
126 copies in the secondary market. High sale for a CGC 9.8 for $200, and they have it settling to around $57. At rank 2, we have the Avengers Twilight number 1, Alex Ross. High sale of $33, settling to $25. And then they have, of course, the second copy we were talking about, 52 copies, settling to $16. High sale of $24. And at rank 4, that's where they start talking about Ultimate Black Panther, the cover A. So they're talking about pre-orders. At the point they did, it was 22 sold, $40, settling at $28 on that one. At rank 5, we talked about that 1 in 25 Arthur Adams for Wolverine 42. That's the X23 cover, and just a really good cover. They like 51 copies sold on that one with a high sale of $118 and settling still above $100, still quadruple ratio on that one. Again, we talked about at rank 6, X-Men 27, the Peach Momoko New Champions cover. This is our first cover appearance of what's her face? I don't think they say it in here, but this will be for the new Ultimate X-Men. Oh, Maystorm, yeah, Maystorm.
Yep.
On the cover there, 22 copies sold, $28. The high sale settling at $25. The second print of New Invasion #1, Ultimate Spidey's first cover appearance. True, if you want to argue about that. 46 copies, high sale of $46, settling at $30. At rank 8, we have from Image Comics the 1 in 50 cover for by Matt Taylor of Moonman #1, the Kid Cudi book. Kid Cudi is a massively popular rapper and producer. He has won 2 Grammys out of 6 nominations, as well as sold over 22 million units. He is now joining Image's massive verse with his own creation, Moonman. Main character, you okay?
Massive verse.
Character will be joining the ranks of Radiant Black, Dead Lucky, Inferno Girl, and many other titles. Matt Taylor illustrates this psychedelic multiverse-looking cover for the 1 in 50 retailer incentive. The art was a hit, and fans are hitting the aftermarket to get their copies of this cover. 13 copies sold, and a high of $48
for a 1 in 50.
Yeah.
Wow. That should
nothing to write home about on that one, unfortunately.
No, you lost money. Actually lost money.
Rank 9, we have the ugliest cover of all time, X-Force #48. John Cassaday. Recently, Marvel released a Wolverine cover that received backlash of fan criticism. Now, Cassaday has released a cover that many have the same opinion on. It is uncertain if this cover is diminishing scrutiny on cover art or if it was specifically created as a spoof of the aforementioned cover. Regardless of the reason, a new type of cover art collection has been created.
That's ridiculous.
They have taken the aftermarket to hunt down this variant.
They're
24 copies sold. I sell $25, settling to $14.
They're hate collecting.
Yeah.
Hate collecting, man. What is that about?
I would like to have this to make fun of it in my home on a daily basis.
Right? Well, wait a minute. Actually, you did that. What was the dollar book that you had like a bunch of copies were trying to make become a spec?
Oh yeah.
I've done
yeah.
There was something that there was a whole community of people that were like,
yeah,
it could happen. And
Dark
it ended up
Dark Hawk.
Yeah. That wasn't out of love. That was out of
it wasn't out of love, but it wasn't out of boy, this is ugly.
Yeah. It was like, this is a lame character. Let's see if it can become something.
Still got some Ultimate Spider-Man on the cover or on the top 10. Rank 10 is the J. Scott Campbell cover. Love it. 39 copies.
Yeah, it's
$38 for a raw.
And at rank 11, we have Star Wars Dr. Aphra, the 1 in 25. As we said, this is final issue, so it's spiking. $125 for a raw was the high sale. That's pretty amazing. At rank 12, we have
that's the 1 in 25 ratio.
Yeah, it's just the but still pretty solid for a 1 in 25. Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the Ryan Stegman. 41 copies of this one moved. High sale 31 for a raw. Spawn 1 comes in at 13. Just way back in 1992. And this one is sold yet another 39 copies of Spawn, moving around, changing hands. $200 was the high sale. Current raws around $29. Was that a $200 high sale for a raw?
No way.
Yeah, it's probably left out the CGC part. Ultimate Universe number 1 also makes an appearance at rank 14 here with the first, not the first appearance of Maystorm, but it's her debut, whatever the hell that means. Solid runner-up, those who missed her first appearance. 30 copies sold, high sale of $15 for a Raw. At rank 15, we have another Ultimate Spider-Man still moving around. Track 36 copies, high sale of $195 for a 9.8. Current Raws around $80. The RB Silva second print of Ultimate Spider-Man number 1, doing pretty solid, moving 24 copies, $15 for a Raw. Darker Image makes an appearance, the first issue from 1993 at rank 17, because this is the first appearance of the Max, and Channing Tatum is going to option and make this into something. 21 copies sold, high sale of $79 for a CGC 9.8, and current Raws around 3. So it's not a huge winner. Yeah. From 1976, we have a Howard the Duck appearance at rank 18. 20 copies flew off the shelves this week. We don't know why. It's a weird spike, and a lot of people buying Howard the Duck for an unknown reason. A high sale of CGC 9.8 and a current Raw selling for around $75. So somebody knows something, right?
The mysteries of Howard the Duck. Somebody's got their finger on the pulse somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to make an appearance in some
Will
movie
he be in
coming up. Yeah, and somebody knows it ahead of time and has leaked it or is gobbling them up. And at rank 19, we have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, number 1. We finally got know who the character of Supergirl is going to be, and it's that Millie Alcock from House of Dragons.
Yep.
So that was a good enough casting to excite people. So 25 more copies sold, high sale of $180 for a CGC 9.8. Raw's going for around $30. And the Spectacular Spider-Man number 9 from 1977 rounds out the top 20, because Daredevil Born Again is coming soon, and we have the first appearance of White Tiger in here. So White Tiger is what they're after, and so 25 more copies sold, high sale of $375 for a CGC 9.8, and current Raw is selling for around $68. All right, there you go.
There we go. All right, Drew, we've talked about the past and things on the secondary market. Looked at a little previews. Let's head on over to our sneak peek at next week. I'm heading over to our good friends at Lunar Distributions starting on the 13th, and let's check out what's coming out that day, including Action Comics 1062.
I like the Nicholas Draper Ivy Black History Month. I don't know who that is on the cover, but I like the looks of it. That's pretty good. And we got a lot of Batman 143s that pretty solid, except for that sweater weather version.
Weird sweater weather cover.
Oh, what we're doing. What are we trying to do with those? I don't even know. That's that blue one it's an Arkham Asylum version of Batman and Robin. That's kind of cool.
Green Lantern 8 with a very interesting sweater weather cover. They're doing the Hot Springs cover.
Some folks in bikinis.
Yeah. Mad Magazine doing the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce cover.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
We'll probably sell some.
Mm-hmm. Red Hood the Hill, number 1, coming out with Sanford Green doing cover A and a Terso Cons cover B. Curious to read that one. Sinister Sons number 1. It's also starting a new series. Good boy Dan Mora doing the cover A on that one. I like the cover D. It's a 2 kids in a trench coat cover.
Which one is that?
Sinister Sons cover D. Woods.
Oh.
That's all for the 13th items. I'm heading over to the 14th Let's stick in with Lunar and see what's going on there. Of course, Blood Commandment cover C is a homage cover to Underworld.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He is not quite Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Godfather.
Yep, Godfather on cover D.
That one I knew.
That one we got. Dear Editor number 2, Drew. Dear Editor number 2.
Excited. I told you about this, right?
You told me he's a deer.
He's a deer.
And he's a journalist.
Everybody knows he's a deer. There are no other deers or other animals in the comic. Just him. He's just the only deer.
And we don't talk about it?
And we make jokes, we make deer puns and references to him because he's a deer. Mm-hmm. But nobody says, how come you're a deer?
Boy, it's weird that you're a deer.
It's weird that you're a deer and nobody else is a deer. But it's fine. It's fine. So, and that was only issue 1. Who knows? There could be other characters that pop up in issue 2. It's only a 3-issue series, so you should.
Boy, we better move along if we've got some more deer in here.
Yeah, we're really gonna have to jam one in.
From Scout Comics, we have The Divine Power Made Me.
Okay.
Cultism, Death.
I don't know who that is.
Dragalis.
It looks like a cult. That looks cultish.
It says cult. Infernals number 1, Drew. Series premiere from Ryan Perro and Noah Gardner.
Oh, wow. This is who's doing this comic? This Image?
Yeah, this is an Image book. So we have Abe, the son of Satan, has 1 month to live before he dies. He must decide which of his 3 wayward children.
That's it.
It gets convoluted, and I don't.
It gets convoluted. So I like the restraint this guy has shown. He is just saying, "Here's my comic. I'm giving you this very stark cover. No other options." And
for what?
For what?
For what? For Infernals?
Yeah.
There's a cover B.
Where is it?
The next page, first item, and it's actually a much better cover.
Okay. Okay, well then forget the restraint. You lose your point.
2 covers is still restrained.
No.
Okay, sorry, we ruined it all. My apologies. I should have kept my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I should have let you get through your entire diatribe first.
Yeah, and then went. Yeah, you're totally wrong, Drew. Miracles has a ton of stuff here.
Yeah, including a Hulk homage, I believe, is cover B.
I think it's all 4 issues released simultaneously.
Yeah, I was gonna say issue 3 cover B. Yep. Crazy.
Which is nice.
Yeah, and then Giant Size X-Men. Yeah, there's a bunch of weird homages.
Transformers hits issue 5. Tuskers number 1. I'm guessing this is about poaching elephants.
It's from CEX Comics.
That's a bit depressing. I don't want to read
when
that.
A merciless poaching militia threatens a herd of it.
So You and I is a J. Michael Straczynski book, and it's more importantly, it's a AWA book. And for my money, AWA has the highest hit rate. They just crush.
And if we're talking restraint, none with You and I. Many covers.
Four solid covers. One of them looks like a Harlequin romance novel, if you remember what those covers looks like.
Yes. And if you're looking through this and flipping and trying to find this, it is not YOU and I. It is the letter U and I.
The letter U and I. So
heading over to previewsworld.com and looking at the rest of the items coming out on the 14th of the Valentine's Day.
And it looks just like my previews is just garbage. I have like an unsecure site.
Yeah, you had to hit advanced, and then you have to say yes, I'm willing to take the risk and go there.
And then I'm getting not all I'm getting broken photos.
Oh, see, I'm getting everything.
Okay.
So we have Under Heist number 1 from Boom Studios, Rhea Latham and David Latham, with David doing the art. Talks about gambling addiction. So yeah, Previews World continuing to do weird things and may not work great with you. Just FYI.
It's just continues to reap what the investment by whatever Jeppy gives them, which is probably not a lot. Yeah, the
Marvel.
bare bones webmaster there.
There you go. Marvel rolling out Night Thrasher #1.
So now that I can see Boom, I'm looking at all this good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm looking at Under Heist second printing, which you mentioned.
Yep.
Displaced, you mentioned, right?
Displaced, yep.
Oh, man.
Well, we didn't mention Displaced.
Well, the guy that's bought and paid for. And Amazing has that's that Disney cover.
Yeah. I like the Thwip cover.
I love the Thwip cover. That's great.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Justin
a letterer?
Yeah, it's a letter. Yeah,
it's a letterer that
feature
did that?
letters.
That's great.
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver #1. Rose Batch doing the 50 copy incentive. Not bad.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I also like the Insignia variant. Spider-Gwen Smash 3. Spider-Gwen Smash 3 Jan Balthazar Stormbreakers variant is a breakdown cover of a character I don't know if we've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know? So I'm going to do a little bit of research as to who that dude is.
Vengeance of the Moon Knight. Feels like this been delayed. Is that possible?
I believe so.
Yeah. Took its sweet time.
I really like, you will not like this, so just feel free to tune out for a few seconds. Star Wars Darth Vader 43. The Rebels cover is a really nice Ezra and Chopper cover. A very cool one.
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man #1 second print. Different than our typical.
Yeah.
I do not know if there's a ratio.
No, that's good. We don't like those anyway.
Yeah,
That's true.
Vengeance of Moon Knight #1 going to a second print, as well as Vengeance of Moon Knight issue 2 releasing. So lots of cool Moon Knight for you, brother.
Yeah. I wish it was current. I'm way behind.
Sweetie Candy volume from Dynamite. Candy Vigilante.
Oh, okay.
Sweetie Candy Vigilante, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I see down in the back half stuff, we've got a new Blue Book coming back. This is a 1947 version of Blue Book, so that would be probably a prequel to the last one. And the last one was pretty good, so this one might be as well. The James Tinian book. And did we mention Cabinet when we were up in the other image stuff? Jordan Hart, David Ebeltoft with Kiera Ramondi on art. It's looks like maybe like a high school.
Yeah, something like that.
The era characters.
It's a
and maybe
5-issue miniseries.
Maybe some time travel thrown in it for good measure.
There is each issue features a very interconnected cover by Marguerite Sauvage. So all 5 of the covers.
Yeah. Dead Detective, that's issue 3, and Dead Kingdom, issue 1. Dutch is, what is Dutch again? That's that Joe Casey thing from a while ago. It looks very dated, but some folks don't mind. Even prefer.
This is true. This is very true.
Happy Crappy Life, the Drew story from Dempa Books. Hunger and Dusk finishing up with its issue 6.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Canyon Monster #1. This is a Blood Moon Comics.
You said Ice Canyon?
Ice Canyon Monster, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a second printing.
Tis. Jungle Comics, it's issue 25. If you find this, I'm already dead. This is yet another Matt Kemp book. This time with Dan McCade on art.
$8.
It's an expensive one. All of Matt Kent's imprints have been pretty high lately. And I'm guessing they're double sized, but still, it's a bit of a chunk to bite off. I don't know what Miracles is, but tons of those.
That's the one that's releasing all of its copies.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Duh.
These 2 and 3.
Pithouse Comics.
Interesting.
What is that about? So is it collecting? 30 years after the original line debuted, Penthouse proud to present the ongoing return of Penthouse Comics, featuring a wealth of talent from all across the industry, telling stories in the action, thriller, and horror genres. Huh. $10 comic, but
yeah.
I bet it's pretty good.
Very neat covers.
And Matteo Scalera doing that first cover, looks pretty darn good.
Joshua Swaby, no sway anywhere near this cover, just Joshua Swaby.
Yeah. Polybag Jeff Decal. We know how much people like going after the Decal books.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a nudie decal.
Yeah.
but I can't. That's a $13 one. That's a little more. So
Right.
these are going to do well with a certain segment.
Yeah, there's 3 different polybagged at 13, and the rest are at 10.
Yeah,
And of course, Vanessa Del Rey on one.
and then we got a real person.
Wow, that stemograph is complete AI. And then
Model Sonia Mallory is, I guess that's who's on the cover of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are neat.
It's just something completely different that I didn't think we'd have a penthouse.
No, I had no idea. So I guess they're branching out,
Trying different things with IPs.
Yeah.
Rat
Critical.
Queens Omnibus hardcover, Drew.
Oh wow.
Collecting Rat Queens Volume 1, 1 through 15, the never before reprinted 16, Volume 2, 1 through 25, Rat Queen's Sisters, Warriors, and Queens, all 4 one-shots, never reprinted short stories, all covers, and sketchbooks from all the major artists.
Yeah. Very
$125 bucks.
Ouch.
If you put in a pre-order, you could have got it at a pretty good price, though.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff there, and dare I say, very worth.
I always love the concept of like this planetary expansion from Critical Entertainment. So this is there's 1,000 hand-selected passengers aboard a starship heading to repopulate a new habitable planet because Earth is no longer habitable, which makes sense. But do you think we would make the cut for the 1,000 people selected to go repopulate?
Not a chance.
Would we be in the alternates? Do you think? No?
I will say yes.
Yeah, I always found that fascinating. They'll take scientists and then of course whoever buys their way on.
We don't have enough podcasters to repopulate.
You really need a couple of podcasters.
Yeah.
I mean, I will do whatever.
That's right.
I want to make the cut.
Rebel Moon, I picked the first issue. It was one of my picks. It did go to a second print, so not a swing and a miss completely.
Yeah, that's true.
Rock and Roll Biographies presents The Foo Fighter from 10 Ton Press. So if you've lived under a rock and do not know the story of Foo Fighters, there it is.
That's that could do well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff.
Really flooding the market on Valentine's Day, making sure you get all kinds of things you can pick out.
Yep. Get yourself a Penthouse Comics for your lady.
That's right. Sweetie, I got you the poly bag.
I knew that's what you wanted. Wow. Very cool.
Witcher Comics number 4. And that is it. Drew, this is one of the podcasts where I ask for your pick of the week. What's the one pick to make sure you head in, say, sorry, Valentine, we have got to stop by the shop on the way because we got to pick something up.
Man.
And then we'll get to dinner.
There's so many cool ones to choose from.
Yes.
It's almost an embarrassment of riches. And,
especially when we went through a couple of those 5th weeks and stuff.
Oh, yeah, we had some doldrums. I mean, I could go to a variety of. There's a lot of image number 1s that I could gravitate towards.
Mm-hmm.
Some cool stuff from Boom going on. I like there's a couple of Spider-Man that I was drawn to, like the Thwip cover and the Ultimate second printing. I'm like, those are pretty solid, and the Ultimate second printing is probably a slam dunk. Man, maybe the Matt Kent, but I ultimately I'm going to go with this Planetary expansion. It's a tiny little publisher I haven't heard of, Critical Entertainment LLC. Going to be a really small print run. It's only $4.99, so it's not one of those crazy high expensive books. And I love the concept, and maybe somebody snaps up the IP.
Very cool. All right, Drew, I am torn. Call me Natalie Imbruglia. So, of course, Ultimate Spider-Man number 1 going to a second print. I mean, that's obviously going to go to $30.
Yeah.
And then we have Infernals number 1. I love that cover B on that one. I mean, is it too chalky if I pick another Ultimate for 2 straight weeks of Ultimates? Or do I ride the trend and say, hey, if it's an easy win, just keep going with easy wins?
That is, you follow your heart, sir.
All right, I'm going to pick Ultimate Spider-Man #1, RB Silva second printing.
So that's not your heart; it's your wallet that you were
That's my
following.
wallet. Yeah, sorry, my wallet's connected to my heart.
Actually, that's all that it is. It's just a little leather pouch with money that pumps.
Yes, 100%. Yep. All right, we want to thank you for tagging along with Drew and myself through all of our fun Valentine's Day spectacular items. If you want more Kyle and Drew, and if you want to be our Valentine, head on over to patreon.com. Find comics for fun and profit. Throw a couple bucks and get more Drew and Kyle and Jason than you've ever wanted in your entire life. We appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for Drew and for myself. See ya.
Time for a break from our show to pay the bills. Check out beacons.ai/comicsfunprofit for all the C4 FAP links you could ever need, all in one place. You can provide feedback, listen, support, share, enjoy these. We have our Patreon there. You can buy us a beer or a coffee. You can check out our Instagrams, our Twitters, our Facebooks. Check out our YouTube page. You can email us. You can listen to our podcasts on Patreon, if you're a subscriber, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on Podbean. We have Google Podcasts on there. We have an Amazon wish list. You want to buy Kyle and I something? Fine. You can do that here. We appreciate it. We have Kyle's RPG podcast listed on there, so you can check out his Dork Day Afternoon offerings. We have Cowabunga links, so you can check out the Cowabunga Deep Discount FOC and pre-order list. Get on that. That's RLCS, so you can check that out as well. And we want to just give you opportunities to say hi, to check out what we're doing, support us if you would like, or just listen. Check out beacons.ai/comicsfunprofit for all the C4 FAP links you could ever need. Thanks. Back to the show.